I'm getting just me here.
Oh, you're getting everyone.
Oh, I am?
And let's turn it a little bit this way so we get some of the presentation in there. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. What do you think of when you hear the word poverty? Do you think of the homeless adults on every street corner downtown? I do. It makes it easy to think that poverty is the same as homelessness. But the problem with this picture is that it's not accurate. There are many people who are impoverished who are not out on the streets. And it leaves out a critical segment of the population of those impoverished children. According to the Yellowstone County Poverty Report Card developed by the Montana State University, as of 2009, 11.7% of the population in this county was living below the poverty level. Now, a third of those are children. That equals about 5,700 kids in our community. We don't see this every day because these kids aren't out on the street, but poverty has some very bad impact on children. One of these is malnourishment. Kids who do not get enough to eat as a result of their parents' poverty face developmental challenges. They're preventable, and we can help. Let's examine how malnourishment, as a result of poverty, leads to poor educational attainment and what we can do as a community to help these kids reach their potential. The varied future of Billings depends on it. Now, when I say malnourishment, I don't mean starvation. Malnourishment just means that a child is not getting the proper nutrients, but these can have some permanent impacts. The Connecticut Commission on Children lists some of these different symptoms. Now, the cognitive deficits make it difficult for a child to learn. If a child has gone from school because they are sick frequently, they have a hard time catching up. And then the lack of emotional expression combined with the cognitive deficits makes it hard for children to make age-appropriate friendships. Now, the long-term effects go with just the child and with society. According to Murphy and et al. In 2008, there were many children that had continued health problems for the rest of their life. This leads to very costly medical expenses. Additionally, these children are in special education programs, so they're constantly trying to play catch-up to be at an age-appropriate level for their grade. And then if they don't finish school in many cases, so the dropout rate is much higher, or the child decides they don't want to go on to further education because they've had such a struggle with just getting through school. So this results in a limited earning potential. When the child enters the workforce, as an adult, they perpetuate the cycle. They are an impoverished child and become an impoverished adult, which is a burden to society. Now, we might just be hitting on the tip of the iceberg. Potentially twice as much as the income is needed as indicated on the poverty guidelines in some cases, according to an article by Gershoff. If we look at the 2011 guidelines, $3,820 was added to the baseline for every extra person in the family. So that turns out to be about $318 a month. If we look at the cost of living, it does not seem nearly adequate to cover how much it would cost to provide food for a child. So the need in Billings may be much greater than we would initially suspect. An article in the Billings Gazette supports this. As of last year, we had 280 students that were using the Backpack Meals program, with 60 on the waiting list because the demand was so great. Now, this program provides meals for children on the weekend so that they actually have something for the 2 days that they're not at school and are able to eat. Additionally, we've got about 40% of the kids that are eligible for free or reduced lunch within our school district. So that percentage indicates that the problem is much bigger than those that are just identified as being impoverished. So now that we've identified that there is such a big problem, what can we do to get involved to tackle this big giant? Well, there's a couple of great community programs that we have that you can donate to, volunteer, advocate for, and financially contribute. You can send tax-deductible donations to the Backpack Meals program, and this is a great way to get involved. You're not just throwing money at a problem, this is actually buying food for kids and then offering counseling to the families to make sure they're getting the proper assistance they need and have access to programs. The Backpack Meals program also partners with the Billings Food Bank, so they need donations of food. You can help by cleaning out your pantry, providing things that aren't expired, of course, and participate in different food drives. It's a great way to help out. Additionally, they always need volunteers to put the food together to send out to the families. When I did this last month, we set up a big assembly line, got over 800 boxes done in a matter of a couple hours. So it makes a huge impact, and it's a great way to meet other people that are involved in making a difference in the community. It's really fun. Oh. Okay. You can also advocate. I never knew there was such a big problem in Billings until a teacher friend of mine told me all the stuff that she was seeing in the classroom as a result of this. So once you give people information, you can also give them an opportunity to get involved and partner. If you're not going to speak up, who will? Now what if everyone in Billings helped out? If we had even just 15% of the population here that decided to make a difference? Don't just add this to your bucket list. Now is the time you should act on the convictions you feel. Every little bit helps, and we can make a huge impact now. There is such a need with all the people that we've got on these waiting lists that every little bit makes a big difference. We must be the ones that set an example for the kids of Billings and fight for them and be an advocate. Knowing that you're actually making a real difference in this community and contributing to the financial well-being of Billings, as well as making a huge impact in an individual child's life here, is a huge benefit. So, we've seen that children who have problems, who have poverty, or impoverished, face developmental challenges that are preventable, and we can help. Children have problems throughout the rest of their lives if they do not get the proper nutrients now. Malnourishment negatively impacts their ability to learn and then also become a contributing member of society. The need in Billings is so great that if we don't advocate, financially donate, and volunteer right now, we are actively denying these kids access to a better future. Awareness carries responsibility, and I hope you'll take this important matter into consideration. Join me in making Billings a better place to live. Thank you. Sit and